As a lot of you know, the NBA is poised to start on July 30th, where they're going to run like 8 regular season games and then continue with a possible 8th and 9th seed, wild card playoff round, and then a whole playoff series to ensue right afterwards. I would say there are a lot of things that have occurred since that announcement that have made me question whether or not we will be starting at that time period. My first major concern with the rest of the season is the fact that the NBA bubble that the NBA set up for the rest of the season to occur in just happens to be in Florida.
Florida reported more than 15,000 new cases yesterday. That shatters the one-day record for any state and continues a dramatic jump in infections there. Nearly 20% of all COVID tests in Florida have been positive over the past 7 days.
And it doesn't take a person with much intelligence to realize that's a recipe for a disaster.
I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
I stand corrected.
Now, it did make me feel better knowing that the NBA is placing all the players that will be playing for the remaining season in a bubble, and they're testing everyone as the season is about to start. But with those tests came some very unfortunate results. A multitude of players had tested positive for the Rona. And not just some unnamed 10-day contract basketball players. Players like Nikola Jokic, Malcolm Brogdon, Buddy Hield, Jabari Parker, Spencer Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan, the entire Wizards team.
Many months later.
Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, I have an alert. Mid-editing, I just found out that Russell Westbrook, yes, Russell Westbrook of the Houston Rockets, was diagnosed today of the Rona. Now, the question you may have is, when they test positive, what happens? Are they out for the season? What goes on? And the answer to that question is, if a player catches the virus, such as Russell Westbrook, the player has to sit out for a minimum of 2 weeks until he is cleared by doctors and health personnel. That means that any star player at any given moment in the playoffs could be out for a long period of time. Now, that means this virus has the opportunities to shift an entire team's faith and cause complete chaos down the line in the playoffs. Like, imagine if LeBron doesn't play for the rest of the season.
Whoa, Skip!
Time.
Skip! No, Skip! Skip!
Team led the.
Skip, you're a hater!
Could you imagine the excuses and the criticism that would come if a star player were to be taken out of a huge playoff series? And this is not to mention the players who have decided or may decide down the line that they do not want to participate in the rest of the season. Already, names like Avery Bradley, Dwight Howard, David Bertans, Kyrie Irving, and several other notable players will not be returning for the remainder of the season. So before the season can even start, teams like the Indiana Pacers have lost 2 of their best players, the Nets have lost any star power on their team, and teams like Sacramento and the Washington Wizards have basically lost a majority of their starting lineups. Now, I know most of those teams have no business in these playoffs, but that's only the beginning of the impact that this virus could have. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, how exactly is this season gonna go on if everything works out the way it's supposed to? Basically, the NBA has set up a huge bubble in Orlando in which all players who have been cleared will be playing in the many different facilities. Think about it as one large 2K arena with a bunch of courts side by side. And I'm sure the NBA will be testing anybody that walks in and out of that facility, but like I said, they are in Florida. Another concern that a lot of people have, including myself, is how the NBA games are gonna look and sound like in game, considering there will not be any fans attending any of the games for the remainder of the 2020 season. Well, it looks like the NBA will be pumping crowd noise into the arenas to make the game sound more realistic, and quite frankly, I'm pretty sure the NBA don't want their sponsors to hear everything the players have to say through the mics. Because trust me, the mics pick up a lot more than you think.
Kevin crazy right now.
Shit out here, nigga!
On a more positive note, it looks like the NBA players have taken a liking to the current setup and they've adapted to it. A lot of them have posted clips giving us an inside look of how it looks inside the bubble, and a lot of them have started practicing again. So it's good to see that. Although it does concern me to see some of their dietary choices.
What is that?
Now, assuming that nobody else catches the virus from here on out, it looks like most of the players who currently have the virus should be cleared by the beginning of the NBA season. Now, if everything were to go as planned, I still do have the Lakers and Bucks in the finals, with the Bucks having a slight advantage considering the amount of players that the Lakers have lost in the past weeks. It doesn't help that the last time I saw J.R. Smith and LeBron on the same team, it was not a good memory.
What you doing? That's my stuff. Why did you hold the ball? Why did you hold the ball, JR? I thought we was up. The score was 107 to 107. How are you the only one on the court that don't know that? Are you drunk? Are you drunk, JR? Nah. No, you're not drunk. You trash!
A few moments later.
How do you get? You off. Go. You off. And you better not ever touch a basketball again. If I even see you next to a basketball, I'm gonna knock your ass out.
I do believe that these playoffs will be very competitive, so no team will be cakewalking into the finals. Because trust me, the Celtics, the Miami Heat, and the Sixers could possibly beat the Bucks. And I sure wouldn't sleep on any of the top 6 teams in the West. To all of our delights, it looks like the NBA has rigged it so Zion Williams will face LeBron in the first round. But seriously, look at the differences and difficulties that the other teams fighting for the last few playoff spots have to play. Now, the NBA did say that this was just the schedule they were supposed to play anyways before all of this happened. But as all salty NBA fans say, the NBA is rigged.
Cap.
I haven't heard anything so far, so it looks like the NBA will be going with the season the way they planned. But I do have a couple suggestions. Please quarantine these players. Make sure they're not out and about like it's a vacation. Florida is the last place we want these players out and about. Now, with all that being said, I do wish that the NBA starts on its originally scheduled day of July 30th and things go smoothly and no one else catches the virus from now on. Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of watching Bronny TikToks and random videos on SportsCenter. So yeah, that's about it. If there's any other update, any huge change, any postponement, any big things that come out in the next couple of weeks before the season starts, I will make a video. If not, I'll probably make a video when the season starts. Stay safe out there, wear your masks, like, share, and subscribe, and see y'all.
Buy a drink or two, be real nice to her. She might like ya, and she might let ya. Give her pipe, bruh, but if she like ya, she gon' run that check up like a wife do. And you know it, if she